Welcome back. It's Jason with your Hopium-Free crypto channel. Just adjusting the desk. Let's get on with today's action and the charts, and of course our fear and greed plan. Obviously the fear can't be beneath 15 today, especially with Elon Musk talking and Cathie Wood talking and Jack Dorsey talking and everyone talking about Bitcoin. So we saw about an 8% jump at the moment today. I'm still of the view it's possibly a relief rally, but that doesn't mean it's just one day up. This could be a few days up. And like we've been following for weeks now, we do get moments in the downtrend that give us some relief. So the point that we're looking for is, where will this relief end and where will it sink back to? Like, where does it fade to? Because we know markets go up and down. We just want to know where that low is. So if we can get an estimation, or we can start to see where that low comes in and it's higher than the current low that we just saw at 29 something, 29 and a half, then that gives us more confidence moving forward that maybe the tide is turning. Doesn't mean we'll shoot straight up to a $65,000 Bitcoin again, but it does bring in some more hope to the market and some more upside. And, you know, that just looks pretty good on our fear and greed plan, which we'll have a look at as well. Remember, it's not a finalized plan. We don't have any exit targets at the moment. The main purpose of the plan is to protect our capital. Obviously capital preservation, but also to be buying Bitcoin when it's the most scary. So yesterday we had the big dip. The plan said to buy. We bought Bitcoin at 29 something, 29,700 or 800. That brought our average down to about 33,950 or so. So now the market's at around 32,000. We're only down like 5%. Think of the rest of the market. The rest of the market's down 50% from the highs. People buying altcoins on every single dip. Although they might think they're up, they've actually lost a lot of Bitcoin value. Maybe some of them have actually lost altcoin value as well. I don't take any pleasure in that. I guess I take pleasure in the side of saying, follow a plan. When you stick to a plan, it tends to work out for you, provided you have back tested it and you've focused on what it is you're doing. So that's the part that I enjoy the most. I hope you guys are too. I hope you're sort of seeing the benefits of creating a plan and following it, and it keeps you in the game, especially when the times are toughest. So if you haven't already, make sure you've hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you want to be commenting on the video here. I'll leave this up. So subscribe to comment live. We're just doing that to try and kick some of the spam out. And yeah, make sure you're following on Instagram and on Twitter, daily crypto news updates, and of course the Q&A on Instagram. Thanks very much, everyone. I can see all your comments coming through. Let's cross over to some of the charts and the details that I've got here. So we're going to go through the B word as well. Not the entire thing. I've just watched the whole thing this morning, taken some notes. Let's share the screen. So ARK Invest was organizing this. All right. There it is. The four of them. We've got Cathie in the top right, Jack in the bottom, and Elon Musk over here. I've gone through, watched the whole thing. Let's have a look at some of the notes here. Basically, what I gathered from it was all want to improve the world's monetary system. So that's a good thing. That's what we want to see for cryptocurrency. All believe Bitcoin will improve the world's monetary system. So they want to improve it, but they think Bitcoin's going to have a major part in that. And then Bitcoin's going to help bring it into further decentralization away from government control. So people who are, pro-government and want more government and more hands on other people from the government, it's not, like Elon Musk says in this, it's not both ways. Governments are corporations. If you hate corporations but love your government, you got something screwed up there. This is Elon's words in the video here. So governments are essentially a corporation, but they have a monopoly on violence, being that they're the ones that can harm us, but we can't harm them. The other things to look at that everyone was saying here, all believe BTC will become even more green as well. So that was the main thing that Elon was talking about when it came to not accepting Bitcoin for Tesla. Tesla not accepting Bitcoin at the moment, but they haven't sold any. Some of the main things that Elon said: Tesla will accept Bitcoin again once it becomes more green. The trend is on that path. So definitely seeing Bitcoin becoming more green. Tesla and SpaceX actually own Bitcoin as well. So I didn't know about SpaceX, but Tesla and SpaceX, private company. Elon owns BTC, ETH, and Doge, mostly BTC, but he owns some ETH as well. Crypto will make the future better. This is what Elon's thinking. Empowering the individual relative to the government. So they all have a very strong focus on empowering the individual. I don't know how that falls back into sort of Jack Dorsey's views when it comes to starting a universal basic income. I don't think that really empowers the individual. I think that sort of makes you reliant on the government again, but that's another story for another day. It's a different thought as well. So I wonder how that is going to connect for Jack Dorsey moving forward when it comes to decentralizing our finances. Elon also says corporations and governments, so we just talked about that as well. So hate the governments. The governments are the ones that screw the money supply, screw the money system, keep everyone controlled, because if they own the money, then they own your time. And the whole idea with cryptocurrency is to decentralize ourselves, is to get ourselves away from being controlled by the government. So listening to this, everyone has their own opinion, of course, but listening to this, it really does sound like they are wanting to help humanity out in that way, to get individuals away from governments, or at least allow them the space to make the choice. Whereas at the moment, we don't really have the choice. Jack's comments that I picked up here from the hour-long conference, Jack believes in the decentralization path that Bitcoin is taking. So he does believe in how it is progressing. Some people, I mean, there's a lot of crap that goes on with Twitter and Bitcoin and in the community, and some saying staking's better, some saying it's not, and all that sort of infighting. But long term and the broader picture, when you zoom out and you don't get worried about the drama that's going on day to day, Jack's also looking at the decentralization path. He definitely believes that that is the way forward. He wants Bitcoin to be used as well as a store of value. So used in commerce, not just a store of value. So Elon Musk pressed him, I guess, with a question whether Twitter will take that on, using Bitcoin for advertising. If advertisers can pay Twitter with Bitcoin. And he sort of didn't really answer that question, but said it was something that would think of down the track as well. Cathie believes Bitcoin is the answer to internet money the world needs. So the world needs some sort of internet money, and she thinks Bitcoin is the answer to that. Also believes that emerging markets will migrate to crypto to preserve purchasing power. So unless you are the US, everyone else is kind of in a bit of a struggle to try and keep up with the US. And the US has created this, they've created this system so that they can keep other countries at bay. So she's kind of looking at, well, now it looks like maybe some smaller countries, emerging countries, will have an option to use a different monetary system, something that's back to it, so they can start to bring themselves out of poverty. And I guess that's why they're also backing Bitcoin. And now that it's out of the bag, they think that that's where a lot of the energy is going to move to. So all in all, it's all positive for the space. Really, nothing has changed. They're just bringing forth their opinions and the way they view the market in terms of, for Cathie's point of view, how she's investing, and for Jack, how he wants to build the space moving forward to help humanity, and Elon Musk, same sort of deal as well. So they've got different ideas on how they want to use it, but they're essentially how they want to use Bitcoin moving forward for their own endeavors personally, and to see the greater good for humanity. So I think that's overall, all in all, is a good thing. Is it going to change Bitcoin from the bottom to get us to a new all-time high? Personally, I don't think what was said today is enough, but it's on the right track. Public opinion, what I looked at, just scrolling through Twitter and some other comment sections, most were expecting more from the overall conference. And I think that might be part due to social media hyping up the event. So it was advertised essentially, it's a conference, but it seemed like it was going to be this massive thing that was going to change the face of cryptocurrency to get us out of some sort of bear market. Maybe it does. We need to give it some more time. But overall, it was kind of, the opinion was kind of split from what I saw, obviously, in my opinion. And then also, I think it was hyped up a little bit too much because at the end of the day, it was literally just a conference call, like an hour-long Zoom call over here. So that was my take, my wrap up of the B word. It seems reasonably good overall, but I don't think it's anything to really like get us kick-started. And we'll see that in the market soon. In terms of Bitcoin, it looks okay. In terms of some other cryptocurrencies, they definitely needed a relief rally after several days down. So a news event happened to trigger that. Great. We get a few days up. We'll see what happens. We need to get those few days up first. Let's have a look at CoinGecko to see where we're sitting with our market cap. This is a little different to crypto coin market cap as well. So CMC. The data is a little bit different on here, but either way, we're sitting at around that 50% level again, that 1.35 trillion. Remember, our level was 1.33, and then our 50% from the top was 1.28 trillion. So the 50% is important because it's kind of like, I'll use moving averages as an example because most people know how the moving averages work. They'll say, well, it bounces off the moving average. Okay, so we want to see our 50% level, 50% from the high, halfway point. Markets usually come back to those areas, and then we see how they react to that level. Bitcoin's at 32,183. Ethereum finally crossed over 2,000 again and got a move on against Bitcoin. So a lot of the altcoins are up in their BTC value finally. I've been looking at alts dropping against their BTC value, but it can't be every day that they drop. Come on. They have to have some sort of relief at some point. Ethereum's up 4% against Bitcoin. So I've just changed this here from USD values to BTC values. Of course, all of the stable coins are going to be down by about the same percentage that Bitcoin is up. So don't worry about this negative 7%. They're all the stable coins. BNB, 3% up. Cardano, nearly 4%. XRP did basically nothing. Same with Bitcoin Cash, basically nothing. Litecoin, underperformer. We know that. Litecoin's terrible investment. Uniswap's up nearly 7% against Bitcoin, remember? So all of these are going to be up in their US, provided they're 0.1 or higher, they're going to be up in their US dollar value as well as Bitcoin. But you want to see them at least gaining a few more percent than Ethereum, which is the second biggest market cap. So Binance is slightly lower than Ethereum. So Ethereum's had a better increase. What else has had a good increase? Polkadot, Doge is up 4% now. It did have a pretty big spike and then it just died out. Some of the big ones are going to be Polygon, Matic. So that's something that I've been watching for a little while to see where a bottom comes in because it might be something that I pick up for the next stage of the bull cycle. But remember, a lot of these that have big moves, look, ICP, pretty decent move, 10%. But remember, they were down much, much heavier. So they have to bounce back a little more, at least in the relief. That's generally the way the market goes. Same with Theta. Theta was down pretty heavily, and it's had a bigger bounce back than Ethereum. Remember, Ethereum has been holding its value in its Bitcoin price. Cardano has been holding its value against its Bitcoin value as well. So it's been holding ADA value against BTC, right? It's been holding its BTC value. But these others have not. Matic has been going down. Where's my other one? Theta. I had Theta. There we go. Theta. Theta had been going down pretty heavily. Solana has been holding up and is doing well. So that's why I kept some altcoins in my portfolio. Those ones have been holding up reasonably well. Not all of them, but the major ones have been holding up reasonably well. And if we just scroll a little further down, everything's kind of all over the shop. Not too much else to speak of. 0 to 4%. Kusama's up, but it also had a bit of a hit. Stronger hit than a lot of the others. Theta Fuels, of course, is up because same deal with Theta. We're all still running hot, looking good. All right, let's look at our fear and greed plan now. Crypto fear and greed. 21 today, which obviously means it's not a buy day. It's not a day to be buying. But yesterday was a 10, so we bought. Okay, 29,793. That's our Bitcoin price. This is all of our Bitcoin. What's our average? Sum is, we don't need that. Average, 34,085. So if I put that into the calculator up here, 33,900, it spits me out a loss of $5.90. So if I change it to 34,000, then we have $30. So we basically break even once we get to $34,000. All right, but today's price is currently what is it? 32,130. So 32,130. We're down 5%. 5%. So that's our average price is 34,000. Current price is here at 32,100. We're down 5%. Remember all the people that have been telling us to buy every single freaking dip, buy this 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 dip, buy all of these goddamn dips. I don't know how much these people are down by buying all of these dips and then probably selling as the market went a little bit further and then trying to buy back when the market bounced back. You know, oh, wow, we're getting back to the 40Ks and they start to buy in and they FOMO into the market. This is why we have a plan. This might not be your exact plan, but just build off it. You know, it's not a complete plan, but it's something to start with and hopefully it keeps a lot of people safe. This doesn't mean that the market won't fall into the 20K region either, but it just means that we've been buying at these levels just in case the market does start to stabilize above $31,000 and then 36,000 and then 42,000 and so on, which we looked at recently. So that's the purpose of the plan, is to be buying in so that, you know, should the market turn around, we don't get caught and then start to buy up as the market's climbing up, like a lot of people did through this period in June. They got caught out and started to buy at 38, 39, 40, 41K. And then next thing you know is at 28.5K. So that's the sort of thing we want to avoid, and which is why we have a plan. So right now we're 1 day up. Some volume is coming in relative to the last few weeks, probably the last month, but still, if you zoom out, it's nothing that great. You know, it still reminds me of 2018 where look at this. See the market just continue to taper off. And then we get some nice spikes like that looks cool. And you're like, wow, the market might recover from here. But when you zoom out, that sort of volume really doesn't relate anything. It's not relative to any of this. It's just another day of low volume. And it continues to crumble and crumble. And then you finally get the volume coming in. That's kind of what I would hope for, because that would bring a very strong market moving forward. And I'd get very, very, very bullish when I see that. You see it again here, really strong volume. We saw it on the way up. We had some volume at these lows and then we took off again. So we've seen one. Are we going to see some more extreme volume to support us, to stop us from falling any further? So far, good sign. We've got to see what happens from this point. Hopefully for the bulls, we get a few days up, not just green, but they need to be up. They need to close higher highs, higher lows on the day. And that's going to bring us some more certainty in the market. So 31K, that's a good level. You know, the market's tried 31 quite a few times and it can't really close beneath it. See the spike down, another spike. Yesterday was one of the first days it closed, but then it swiftly reversed. Come back to January and February. And you can see the market closed under, but then reverses, closed under, reverses, taps. So 31 seems like an okay level as well, but we're going to continue to follow it. We just got to keep flexible with it. All right. Oh, that was the last thing I was showing there was we were down 5%. We've gone through that, which is pretty cool. Down 5%, and a lot of people are going to be down a hell of a lot, unfortunately. So, you know, it's just something I wanted to reiterate, the importance of a plan. Just that little area there, 5 or so percent. Okay, the shit perp index, perpetual futures, down 70%. So this is the altcoins on the FTX exchange. It's a basket of altcoins. They are down 64% at the moment from the highs, about 64, 65%. Still, I don't see much volume coming in yet. And the next support levels are a little further down, around 2,100-ish zone. So currently at 3,800. Relief would be fantastic. The sign here would be to close above the 5,000 level, because you got a high back in February and then another couple of highs, which it just could not force its way above. So 5,000, then of course our 50%, 5,500. That's going to give us a little bit more confidence in the altcoin market. And the last thing I want to have a look at before I come over to your questions, just a little post on Twitter. If you're not following me on Twitter, make sure you do that. Make sure you like the video, subscribe so you can comment. Crypto's up 9% today, but the reality is this is what we've seen over the last 3 months, and everyone's this today, dip. All right, that's enough of me bragging on that one. let's stop screen share and have a look what we're chatting about today. No change of structure. Down, down, down. That seems, look, we've got 1 day. We've got 1 day up. It's a good day. Volume has increased. It's more than yesterday. Change of structure, down, down, down. Yeah. Look, I still need to see a little bit more, but I'm on the downside camp because the trend is down. Not just my own opinions. It's the trend. The trend on the chart is down. I'm going to share that. I'll bring the chart up as well. Candles, just so you guys here. I'll give you some color and we'll put it back to an hourly chart so you got something fun to look at. There, we saw that so far on the hourly. Remember, this is very, very short time frames. We're trying to crack above that 32K level. So we've spiked out on high volume and this is the lowest swing top at the moment. So really in the next several hours, we want to see this break back above 32 and 8 and get into that 33. We really want to see that because the volume has just spiked out on that bar, high volume, and then it dumped. That's not a great sign. And then the volume just sort of bled out at this point. So I'm going to throw an alert up here and then we'll work on it from there. What else we got? Why do you do these streams and videos? Is it because you enjoy helping people, genuinely enjoy YouTube, or from a business perspective? All answers are fine. Big fan of your work. Yeah, happy to do that. I enjoy it. I honestly enjoy talking about the markets. And when people are able to improve themselves, they get results on their trading, on their investing, and they can start to grow themselves out of whatever grind they're in. I'm happy with that. Like I really enjoy that because I'm no Elon Musk. I'm no Jack Dorsey, obviously, but they want to help people. They want to help humanity. I believe others have their own opinions. I get that. And so the way I see it is from if you can improve your health and your wealth, you're going to be better off. And I want to see a better world so that I can have more enjoyment here as well. YouTube is pretty fun. Do you think you'll start doing these from a hot tub? No, too much equipment here. Help humanity. Oh, look, if you don't, I don't know what you're laughing at there, but if you're not here to look after yourself and then your family and those around you, I mean, what are you doing here? Steak pie is good. I plan on my BTC to cut another 30% before it explodes to 100K. I plan in my BTC. Okay. So what's the thoughts on the EU regarding regulations and banning of the unknown crypto wallets? I don't think that's a good thing. I don't think it's really going to stop crypto. Well, it's obviously not going to stop it because cryptocurrency is decentralized. People will find a way around it and the EU will just probably try and come down harder on people. So what do? It's difficult, but I would say look for other places which treat you best. I've got an interview coming out with Nomad Capitalists as well. Some people say, oh, it's easy for you. You can just leave your country, do all that sort of thing. We're locked in here. You got to find a way out. Australia, we can't get out. Europe, you got how many dozens of different countries you can choose from. And you got crypto-friendly countries over there too. And now you've got cryptocurrency that you can manage your own money so the government doesn't take it from you because they can't control their own finances. There is positives in all of this. Tattoo removal going. I haven't done much with it the last 2 years. I think I need to get one more session to get rid of the tattoo. It's pretty much gone. Excellent. Honestly, serves us better. That I wasn't expecting a question like that, and that's basically how I feel about it day after day. And I get triggered a lot easier because that's my goal in it. So people are like, oh, you're just trying to do this. I'm like, get out of here, mate. Go spend your time somewhere else. wasting someone else's time. Definitely smash the like. Smash the like. I've heard enough. It's all dollars and the rest is noise. Invest in hardware in my mind. Yeah, I think there's most of everything online is pretty much noise. Definitely. I 100% agree. Very few people will give some good information. Michael is on, my brother. You can go follow his channel. Goes into trading Bitcoin as well, which is what he does over the last 11, 12 years, trading futures markets, not necessarily Bitcoin, but it's the same thing. You apply it, and provided you can read a chart, you can go and trade whatever it is you want to trade. So yeah, Michael's channel, go check it out. I had him on, I put his details on yesterday's video. You can just get out of Australia, but you need a second citizenship first. Well, look, you can get out. You don't necessarily need a second citizenship first, but I guess to renounce your Aussie, if you wanted to do that, you would need a second citizenship. Thank you, Z-Box Ranch. Natural. That's the foot position when you're surfing or riding a skateboard or snowboarding. But yeah, natural. That is true. A lot of people can spend more on tax than they do on their own homes, especially with inflation. So, prices rise, but then you've got to pay it on. You get taxed a hell of a lot because they just keep mismanaging money. I mean, what sort of say do you have on the way that the government manages your money, which is essentially your time? Imagine leaving. Yeah, you can't now. Hey, it's like a dream. What your downside entry would be? Well, we got one strategy is using a fear and greed index. When we get to a certain level, we can buy. I've looked at support and resistance levels on pretty much every single video and live stream, going down into the 20s, around your 27-ish level, around your 23, 24-ish level, and then, of course, the 19, 20-ish level. Bitcoin, are we still going to 24K? We'll see. I don't know how patient people are to get there, but there's still the possibility of that because I don't see enough volume coming in just yet. Remember, I'm looking at this more of a longer term view. I've said heaps of times before, from the high, I expect us to be underneath that high for 3 to 12 months. I've said, all right, it's obviously been more than 3 months, so 6 to 12 months underneath the high. For us to get to a bottom or a higher low, so we've got a current bottom in June, so we get a higher low. That's a pretty important sign. I guess people new to investing you won't know the difference between a low and a higher low, like the relevance to that and how important it is. But a higher low is very, very important. I'll just expect that later this quarter, maybe quarter 4. So are we still going to 24? Who knows? But the main point is we've been buying, and our average price is now 34K. Some people will say, why don't you just buy Bitcoin when it was like buy more now? You're like, well, you can do that, but what happens if the market goes to 24K? Then where's all your dry powder? And some people have infinite dry powder, so just keep buying. Others don't. So that's the difference. It's like if you've got to be strategic with how you're buying into Bitcoin, then that's probably the way you want to do it. Do you hold any value to rounded numbers? No, I tend to look at the support and resistance levels. So that's where I would look at it. Rounded, so it's so far off. Like there's not that much difference in it, so I'm not that concerned. You've got 33 too. I would probably say if it was 32,000 or 32,200, doesn't really matter. It's barely. It's not even 1% difference. it'll depend on your time frame as well. If your time frame is very short term, you're trading the hourly chart or the 15-minute chart, then you will want to know those levels a lot closer. You'll need to know those levels to be able to trade them. But because my time frame is months to years, then a couple $100 doesn't really matter. I'm more looking at I say like the $10,000 brackets. I'm sort of just throwing things out there. Maybe between the 50s. My next levels I want to get to is around $120,000 to $130,000 Bitcoin. That's where I'll start to. That's where I'll really consider selling out. Not all of it, but that's a pretty strong level for me. And I say that now. I couldn't say it 4 months or 5 months ago because there was no top in place. So the top at the moment is around that 60K, 65K. And so if I'm just doubling those points, that's essentially all I'm doing there. 60, 65, 120, 130-ish. That's something else that I've looked at from Gann analysis as well. So it's not just like, hey, the markets do double. It's something that I was looking at through Gann analysis. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if they're buying below 30. Why 5 months? Your statement to wait for 10 on the fear and greed index for buying has made me a ton of money. Good stuff. Well, look, you had to take the action. You had to trigger that in your own trading. So lots of people talk online. If you take the action and it works for you and you've tested it and you feel comfortable with it, even if it goes against you, that's great. It's all on you. That's good. We were looking at 15 and under, but if some people have changed it to 10, great. On a video a couple of days ago, there was someone put up a website that you could back test all of the fear and greed. That was pretty good. Thank you very much to the Twitter community. Hi from Sydney in lockdown. So sorry, Little Sicily and Leichhardt. Ribeye pairing looks good. Yep, I can get more ribeye for my Bitcoin now. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can comment, like the stream up. If you haven't already and you just got your phone there, just scroll a little bit, tap it. Actually, who's watching on phone, TV, or computer? I have not looked at Pulse Chain. Pulse Chain has been put out by Richard Hart and the Hex. Well, I mean, he was the one that did the Hex communities. Created Hex, I should say. So now he's got another one, Pulse Chain. All these goddamn dips. Tasty dips. All right. So you got PC, phone, laptop. Is it easy for you to go across? A TV is harder to like these videos on if you're on TV. But if you're on the phone, it's easy. If you're on computer, easy to hit the like button. That was just my way to get you to hit the like button. All right, super chats. You don't need to hit super chats. It's all good. Cheers for the videos and the streams. You're most welcome, Oggy. Oggy. Vacation in Florida. Beautiful. So Elon is a fudder. I don't believe that whatsoever. I don't believe that. I mean, he's bought more Bitcoin than I would say anyone in this stream has ever bought or will buy in their entire life. Okay, he's bought billions of dollars of Bitcoin. Why he would want to FUD it doesn't make sense. I don't think he's not interested in buying something, pumping it, and then selling it, and then buying back lower. His mind is on creating batteries and solar stuff and all that stuff with Tesla, right? When you just look at the people and listen to them talk, like there's no interest in speculating. He has no interest in speculating. He has interest in I'll say SHIT because I don't want to get this thing demonetized, but poop stirring, we could say that. He definitely loves that. But Yeah, once you start to see like the level of people and what they actually want to do, I could definitely see small people, YouTube or Twitter or whatever, wanting to do pump and dumps because that's all they can do. They don't have, well, they haven't grown themselves to the level that Elon Musk is at. Different types of people. I wouldn't picture or view someone as who I am and just label that who they are as well. Like they're different people. We do different things. Are you at it again? I doubt it, mate. What do you think the institutes will come back now after Elon statement? Oh, do I think the institutions will come back? Not essentially, no. Eventually, but I don't think they're going to come back today just because they saw him talk on a Zoom call. Are we finally seeing volume now? Well, there is a little volume, but just zoom out to like the last 6 months and then compare the volume to the last 6 months and then compare it to other dips and just see the differences there. Make a couple of videos for beginners to explain about relief rally, bull, bear traps, low high volume. I've got some of these sort of things on the channel as well. Relief, it almost comes in the word, right? So you guys, well, we've all been in the market. We've seen the market go down and down and down and down. And then when you get an up day, how do you feel? You feel relieved, right? That's all it is. It's just a relief rally. Whether this lasts 1 day, 2 days, we get a little reversal, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 days, maybe a couple of weeks, that's still a relief rally. So I've got a couple of the videos on my channel. Then, of course, the Investor Accelerator Premium goes into this in a lot more detail so that you can follow it, learn about it, implement it into a plan, and obviously use it. So that's where a lot of the bulk of it is, so that you can follow it in a structured order. Then, of course, there's the Facebook group that goes with the Investor Accelerator Premium membership. All of those are the links to those down below. Those prices are increasing in a few weeks' time when the website is released, when the new website is released in August. What majors would be the most optimal to study in college to develop the crypto space? Anyone else that can talk about university? Because I never went to university. I don't have an interest in university. I think go with Elon Musk's quote here. He thinks they're out of date. University is a waste of time. Absolute waste of time. There's obviously some things that you can use university for, to be a doctor or surgeon or something, right? But you don't need it for a space that is evolving so fast. Technology, you need to get online and start creating yourself. Go out there and figure out what is necessary. Because you go to college, you're just cooping yourself up again, and then waiting to be released in 4, 5, 6 years time, and then you have a debt, or if you've got your parents to pay for it, you've just you've just taken money from them. I'm not for universities. Have you ever looked at FTM? It's a Sydney University involved, I guess. What's your thoughts? No, I haven't looked at it. But yeah, if you're considering something in college, that's you guys do what you want to do. My view is not to do university. I would say use that money and go and learn. I don't agree. I don't agree. It's too toxic. This is just zealots. You'll get zealots in every walk of life. They're everywhere, and then they happen to be the loudest. I know. I was a vegan zealot. I am no longer, and so I have to learn my lessons. Here we get some free extra. Why? That sounds like two bad options. Bad investment and bad for your health. So there's one called Learn Before You Lose. Definitely get some GAN books. If you guys are locked down, You get yourself some game books, go and do some courses, start learning. University of YouTube. I agree. I agree. YouTube free university. I know I just saw a comment that just flew by. It's still, you need a degree to get past HR. I guess I'd be looking at a different direction in life. I don't want my life determined by someone else. I know that's not for everyone. I get it, but I got to follow the path that I think suits me, and I hope you guys do too. No, I'm not interested in them, to be honest. Like, I'm not against them, but I don't think they're everything they're cracked up to be. It's always touted as this is the new specialty thing. It's going to make the world better. I don't think so. I think it's trying to. If you look at it, it's the same high that you're trying to get from, say, psychedelics, or you're trying to get from gambling on cryptocurrencies. You're trying to get somewhere faster than what you're meant to get there. So people will disregard, say, like meditation or something where it costs nothing and there's no downside to it, sitting in a corner quietly for 10, 15 minutes, maybe an hour, to calm your mind so it can work through it, which actually helps improve other areas of concentration for investing or for relationships or your work. But then they want to go towards psychedelics. There's different levels of it. I'm not saying no to all of it. I'm just saying, that it's kind of thrown at us like it's a miracle cure. So let's do a wrap up looking at, thanks. And then we'll look at, let's do a wrap up of this. We're looking at 31K holding. We want to see $31,000 Bitcoin hold to start our climb back. Then we have our other targets above 36K. We want to break above that. And then we have our 40K targets. We covered earlier on in the stream, we went through the B word. So I had I watched the whole thing, recapped it all. Check it out in the first 15, 20 minutes of the video. Plus I went through the fear and greed plan, which shows us we're down about 5% from our average purchase price, whereas from the top of the market to our average purchase price is down 50%. So people buying in 55, 60, 65K, probably down a solid 40 to 50% now. So that's the beauty about having a plan. I'm not the genius here. Just get yourself a plan. That's really the main message here. And then follow the market on a chart, cut the noise. There's a lot of noise in the news space, and it should keep you relatively safe. Great coin. You're welcome. If you guys haven't already, make sure you hit the like button. Give me the dopamine hit, just like the big green candles do. And subscribe to the channel so you can comment. Make sure you got notifications turned on, bell notification and all, so you can see when the streams come up. I'm trying over the next couple of days to do streams at around this time, which is for me here around 10:30 through to 12 p.m. So whatever time that is for you guys, just keep that in mind. And we're covering the market daily because I'm at the moment building a website and a couple of other things. So I want to keep contact with you guys, keep contact with the market, and then follow us up every day. Follow me on Instagram, Q&As over there. I'll answer some right now when I go for the stream. And also Twitter for the crypto news. A lot of good stuff over there. So appreciate all of your time and your support this morning. I'll catch you guys at the next one. Go back and check out the video and the other videos on the channel, which you'll see hopefully at the end of this one, which will help you with your trading and investing. I've got a lot of educational stuff that I've already put out on the video. Cheers, guys. Appreciate your support. I'll catch you at the next one. Till then, have more fun to get more done.